time to time, but I really like the way that Shawn plays that role. Here they go fast towards the C site. They've already met with Subroza, who's found two from around the default box. The Cyber cages up and gives them a bit of cover, but there's the heal coming in for the Reyna. Still on site is hazed, able to pick off one before being traded out by Guimon. And it's going to result in a 2-on-3 numbers advantage for TSM as they come in on the retake. Shock Dart comes into position, but won't interrupt the plant. So the spike will go down. And again, it's down to 2. There's the Al drone going in first, spawning away positions. You've got Guimon very low on HP, just 9 hit points, trying to survive. Down goes his teammates, all up to Guimon, and there's just no way. TSM retake the site with 3 surviving and a masterful pistol round. Doing a little bit of damage. He's hitting them shot after shot in the leg, getting hit by the tripwire, though the Jet's on the site. There's the Leer coming out from Shawn, but it doesn't really help too much, as tenz didn't even see it. Wardell on site, trying to survive a little while longer, dashing around, did manage to find 3, but Quinn is there to save the day. It's all up to Drone. The 1v2. Can the Phoenix manage to make this one work? First kill's there, on the money, but not enough against Shawn. Gen.G narrowly survived it.
Kill. He got spotted from the Al drone. We had another attacker that moved in from the garage side, and that's it. But now this round, though, it's going to be Wardell with 2 kills with the Phantom Knives, but then it's traded off finally by MkaeL.
Great play from Wardell with the ult, making the most out of those knives. Subroza just can't quite get the timing right. MkaeL is waiting and patient as ever. Cutler now holding on to the Odin. And they're going to try to get back in, but this is going to be tough. It's a 5-on-5 retake on the A site.
I'm assuming they still have a Paranoid to work with, but Wardell is going to be the one that's going to open it up. So he gets the kill onto player 1. That's a camera down, so that's information denied on this attempt of hold for Gen.G inside the site. Wardell continues with the second kill, and they're going to get ready to go for this push right now, but it seems as though we have Quinn that's trying to push back forward, and he gets punished by hazed. So this is going to be huge right now for TSM. Looking to be a flawless retake so far as the hack comes out. The last 2 get spotted, and that is going to be MkaeL saying, look, you know what? You guys take the round. We'll make it 3-3. I'll save my weapon into the next.
Subroza again on the back end of the play. Getting things set up to port past the tripwire without going a little bit too far into the vision of Guimon, who's holding currently in the sewers. Finally, action starts to happen, and it's going to be Gen.G coming out on top of almost all the exchanges. Cutler, who's trying to come in, has somehow turned it back around and brought it to a 2-on-3, but the time is a problem, and the rip card's already been pulled. You can see Cutler has escaped to spawn, and Wardell will do the same. Both players very low on HP. The spike will detonate, and we continue with our close game as it's tied back up at 4 apiece.
Single time had read things correctly, where they're like always going towards the opposite round of where the pressure is. But that Al drone's going to give out their position, and drone peeks out, but he's only good for 1. Traded off by MkaeL as they're pushing inside the site. Going to be hard for hazed to hold it off. He gets paranoid, but still gets the kill on the win. As now through the Cyber Cage gets the second one, and a third one up to GMD at the graffiti.
I know exactly
where going to be just the last man standing. Kind of a neuro theft. You know, it's not wasted in the eyes of TSM because they just want to make sure that they secure the round, and it's going to be PL1 trying to save his weapon for the rest.
Player 1 does get a nice pick off there onto Subroza, and with the time being what it is, there's the neuro theft coming through. And feeling pretty confident to go for that peek, hoping to catch Wardell off guard.
But that though, they're still not pushing forward because they're looking for control inside garage, where Win gets the pick onto hazed. That's huge right now.
Win now getting an upgrade. Cutler picks off player 1 with the Hunter's Fury. There's a paranoia coming out. They dash out onto the site. Quinn's managed to make it up. There's one right to his right. This is so awkward. But Subroza just sticks around and waits, and oh, that's perfect. Well played from Subroza, and they just never spotted him. Great paranoia coming out, but it actually goes just wide of Guimon, who will now tap that spike and try to bait out some shots. The Phantom in the hands of Guimon. He's got 45 seconds on the clock to work with.
So let's see if GMD could get this clutch.
Shadows traveling.
Yeah.
Shawn's through. The ult being popped does allow the Omen to get into heaven, but they've still got Phoenix in hell. You've got drones still on site, but they didn't even see him. Somehow not spotted, and everything falls apart. A flawless round from TSM as they turtle up and just wait.
Last round in
Unbelievable patience from Drone as well, playing in hell. It goes too high, it actually hits the top of the door frame, it doesn't go around the corner. Flame wall coming in, so the Blaze wall will at least protect him, sort of. As they try to push through it, Drone somehow picks up that second kill. We're down to now 2 against 2. Pressure on Wardell. There's the deep dart going in. Does give away at least one of their positions. As they try to work their way in, they'll take out the cam first. It's down to Cutler now against Shawn. Shawn looking for the ace with just 5 HP. He doesn't stand a chance. Shawn with a massive ace to deliver the final round of the first half.
They're all grouped up towards the spawn side. The first one to beat to get information, it is going to be hazed. Wide swing as MkaeL punishes him for that. Now he spots a couple more, but his teammates blocked him to start things off, and player 1 gets picked in the face just behind. And that is going to leave now Shawn on a 2 versus 1 with the clock still ticking on that spike. He's trying to move forward, switch it to the ghost, but you could tell that it's pretty much over at this point. When the spike is planted all the way back there, it's GG. A nice round coming in for TSM. It is going to be 8-5.
Get ugly real fast here for Wardell. There's the smoke coming in, but he's just prepared. Too aware of what's coming that direction. Needs some backup though. The Cloudburst comes out at a bad time, but it's Drone who just mops up 4 kills for the Phoenix. There's moving towards C, but really what can be done? Iman has a great flash that comes through. Somehow gets the kill on the Drone, but Wardell goes on a shooting spree. Gen.G gonna get at least 1 kill as player 1 steps up with the Sheriff. But not exactly the home run they needed. It's more of a sacrifice bunt. It's going to come down to a 2-on-3. You've got Shawn moving into position. The Stinger does work out okay for the Reyna. MkaeL just behind. No surprise that Shawn is one of the players in this position. He's been here before, and he's managed to find success for them in the past. Out goes the Leer. The dart giving away their positions, but it's a great spike plant position coming in for TSM. Now there's weapon upgrades on the site, and you can see Shawn's the first one to try to grab one. Recon dart does go out, gives away positions. They know that there's no one on the site currently. It'll be a difficult scenario for them, and yeah, now it's even harder. They needed that rifle to survive, and it doesn't. And then, of course, the Hunter's Fury finds success, so what do? They decide to go back to C. They've had success there in the past, and they're going to keep working that until it doesn't anymore. Cutler will pick off 1 on the attempt to take. Player 1 with a trade. The most promising round we've seen for Gen.G in this half so far. And the jumping pistol proves to be a nuisance, but it's actually player 1 with the shot through the dark cover and the edge of the wall. Tapping the spike, Hunter's Fury comes out, but it's a little bit early as the pulses go down range, but they're not actually on the spike as of yet. Pulses still coming out as they now jump onto that spike. They're about to get it, potentially that shock dart may have been enough, but it ends up working out in the end for TSM. It was tough to see what was going on with the defuse as the battle was really taking place on long. You saw bodies changing positions, shuffling around, because he's got players coming in potentially through doors. That's Drone who's sitting on the back end of the play, and then he's got players waiting for him in the C side as well. So he really needs his teammates coming in from spawn to put pressure on TSM.
One player remaining.
But it's a trade-off and an advantage for TSM. So it's leaving only 1 more player, and he gets picked up by Wardell. And TSM will take this first map, 13-6 on Haven versus Gen.G.
Arrow coming out, and the shock dart does a boatload of damage, no pun intended. As they try to work their way into the site, they're going to have to deal with the players inside Boathouse. Currently, there's still 1 more. It's Gimon. He's got a leaping target, but it's toe shots that work out for Gimon. Ultimately bested by Wardell, but the damage was dealt. Great damage as well being dealt by Wardell as the dink shot comes through.
30 seconds left.
They've got site control, but they don't feel comfortable going for the spike plant just yet.
Well, they have sort of an advantage right now in terms of positioning, especially with 2 heavy hitters with Subroza and Wardell. It can still be doable. But through the smoke, unfortunately, player 1 gets the headshot onto Subroza. Now there's only 13 seconds left. He has to commit for a plant at this point. This is where they're going to jump in. He gets a nice shot there onto huynh. Now there's 6 seconds. He's getting pushed by Shawn, and Shawn dispatches him, and Gen.G wins that round.
Up and over the wall. There it is. There's the updraft. You can see him start that motion, looking for a player up in heaven, not quite going to spot them. There's the Hunter's Fury coming out. MkaeL drops haze. Drone is in the entry, but traded out immediately by player 1, who gets a bit of a lucky frag onto the next target. Leaping around on site, there's still 1 more present.
30 seconds left.
The shock dart's not going to be where it needs to be. It's now down to a 2-on-3, and TSM again with the disadvantage has watched it just evaporate. Got the Odin.
30 seconds
Drone
left.
Is there. Now Wardell wants to get that spike plant, get that guaranteed cash. The flash comes through. There's the flash and the peek, and oh, never mind. They make it look easy as MkaeL lines him up with the Odin. Seconds of a round. They're going to be shifting over towards B. There's still 2 players present. Iman is one of them. There's the push through. MkaeL with the Odin is exactly 1. Just Mass damage being poured out, and the spike carrier is left
10
behind.
seconds left.
Wardell was the only one to actually make it onto the site, and he'll catch a few shots through the wall to the skull. Himon has a soft target to close things out. 5 rounds now on the defensive side for Gen.G. So with that ult
30
going off,
seconds
it's so
left.
loud you sometimes don't hear the port. But there's a port coming in for the defense. That'll allow the Omen to get into the back of sight in the boathouse. That's now Himon backing up this B-side defense. It's down to just 2, and one of them, Subroza. He was so low on HP, his last teammate was Cutler, picked off simultaneously by huynh. As his teammates get into position, the Al drone will be coming through. There's one right to their immediate right by the big tree. That's hazed. And just like that, it's all spun around. It's down to the breach. It's drone with a great first shot onto PL1. But a 3K for Shawn neutralizes the 3K from drone. It will be a 7th round from Gen.G. Shawn having to watch their backs, but they get around the bend just in time to dodge that. And Shawn is just waiting for Wardell on the other side. So it's a 2-on-3 retake. Very much winnable for Gen.G, but TSM has to make a mistake.
A big mistake on top of that, and Shawn at that point doesn't even want to pop up the Empress. So they know at this point they kind of want to go for it, but only halfway, not fully commit. That's 1 and 2. He's looking for the 3rd, and he gets it! They're going to be able to get this one on a 2 versus 3, make that even a 2 versus 4, and Gen.G turns it around. I can't believe that just happened.
Hazed might be able to get the best of the Sova, who's waiting around the corner. The timing almost worked out for him. Decides to use that cyber cage to sneak in towards Switch, and it's well played from Hazed, but he's still got to be careful. That is an Odin on the other side of that wall, and we know how porous it can be. Door's gonna get shut, but it's Reyna to come through from spawn. Shawn, the savior of the previous round, to bring things back to a 4-on-4. Player 1 is trying to defend short, steps too far into the dark cover. There's a Hunter's Fury coming out as well, sending some electrical damage down range. Damage was dealt there. Survival is guaranteed as it all falls down onto Wardell, who's got a Guardian now swapping over to the Vandal. And he's got the Spike as well. Now he's got time to now shift that attack over towards this other site. Has to deal with the tripwire and dodge the damage. The door is shut as well. Literally everything possible standing in his way, including that Odin in spawn. But at least TSM will get a spike plant out of this.
Spike planted.
But Wardell is going to have to make some magic happen, and it's without his trusty op.
Wardell did Ninja Warrior basically to find him making it into the site, and on top of that, it's going to be a Sova dart. Thankfully, he looks for the cover and is able to not be detected by it, and now he gets the first frag on to win, but immediately traded out by MkaeL. How strong has MkaeL been with this Odin so far?
Damage coming through that wall from the Guardian spam. Put Shawn way lower than one would expect. Subroza sneaking closer and closer to the stairs. The Lear goes behind him, and that's what allows that to happen. He'll pass the Lear, and there's the ult being popped. Does he get there in time to cancel it? No, he allows it to happen.
Yeah,
brilliant play coming in from Subroza, as that's now a 3-piece on the round.
Spike planted.
And to figure out where the last 3 terrorists are should we get this kill. But a big Rolling Thunder comes out from Drone. That's going to hit huynh. That's also going to hit player 1, and they're just going to get dismantled. Huynh back with the knives, and he's going to have to come up huge, but he does not. Fall short, and Drone takes the round to make it 10-2 for Gen.G. TSM much cleaner round, where they hope they can turn it over on the defender side.
Currently to Cutler, and he's the lowest one on the battlefield, currently sitting below 50 HP. Getting that dangerous hue of red. Kills piling up for Gen.G, though, as MkaeL and Shawn try to make things a little bit easier for them. Drone brings it back to a 3-on-3. There's that potential follow-up for Drone, just can't quite make it happen. Subroza swings wide, spot Shawn, but there's Himon taking out his counterpart, and now it's all up to Drone, dropping into position. The fault line was right on the money. Here we go. The aftershock coming out. Is it going to be enough to move him? The position changes for huynh, but it's going to be so difficult for Drone to try and spot this out in time. Not much can be done. At that point, the clock was already too far gone anyway. Well played by Gen.G as they secure number 11.
Shout towards the catwalk and mid at the same time. This MkaeL, he sees the bullets with a big flash that comes forward, and then finally we're getting the kills in from TSM with the classic on top of that as Gen.G is trying to retaliate. GMD stuck here at the mid side. Cyber cage is up. He's hiding his own smoke, but Hayes still gets the kill. Player 1's gonna be the last one to go. He makes it a 1 versus 1 at low HP, though Hayes is gonna be able to save it for TSM.
At some point to guarantee access to the site being a little bit easier. Spike now just making its way on the site. Subroza has picked off one. There's a trade coming out, and Shawn chimes in as the Reyna, a dismiss peak. Can be so infuriating infuriating as a player to be on the other side of that one as you watch that ghost-like figure disappear, and just like that, the odds disappearing for both teams, actually. It's come down now to a 2-on-2 as Shawn has done what Shawn does best. There's the rolling thunder coming through Throne to try and make the retake a bit easier, but they still got to deal with Shawn. He's already got one ace this series, make it two! As Shawn has found another one, and this time it's going to be putting Gen.G on match number 12 as they try to force things to a third map with an impressive performance here on Ascent. Now the spike has still not made it down and touched pay dirt yet. And Wardell was feeling saucy. One of that spam shot on the spike planter, no less. There's a fault line coming in, but it's looking like this one's over. And in fact, it is. Gen.G looks fantastic on Ascent as Gimon caps things off there with a 3K at the end.
Style versus TSM that actually brings a Viper into their lineup as well. But with that though, with them trying to push aggressively inside of this B side, it was perfectly held by the two players up
10 seconds left.
And Subroza being the main cause of that. But now it's back to a 1 versus 1. MkaeL drops into it a site. Should be an easy kill here for Wardell. He's waiting for it, and there's that kill. Not even allowing MkaeL to get the plant.
Things down. There's the flashes coming out as they start to make their push. Drone has to go big as they've already got one up in heaven. Nice flick over from Subroza with the off, but now they flash out as they try and slow this down even more. Drones in position with a Spectre, able to gun down MkaeL. The battle goes back and forth, but it's TSM who manages to bring it down to a 2-on-2, and the clock is on their side. 15 seconds left, and Drones still here on the site. They haven't been able to start this fight.
10 seconds left.
GMD is on a 2 versus 1. Really, he just got to put it into the side. He's looking to at least try to go for a but he hears the footsteps across the board, and that's it. They're going to win on something for TSM, and that is a Herculean hold for Drone inside that site into that previous round. But the Spectre from Drone.
Wardell wisely gets into a better position. The paranoia actually finds huynh, but it's nearsightedness, so he can still see that close target and ends up using the Blade Storm masterfully. They're one.
They found my wife.
Or at least he, unfortunately, actually does not get the kill onto hazed. So hazed dispatches him with the headshot, and they're moving inside that site. It's down to a 2 versus 2. They can't really do anything else. It's not that useful, but hazed continues to walk forward, gets the headshot to win, and Cutler with the last one as well.
It's a 4-on-4, and the spike will go down. And MkaeL's gonna pop the ult, potentially get some intel. No, actually going back towards long. Thought maybe we'd see that pop towards spawn more. There's a lot of players starting to work through from screens. You've got hazed laying out the toxic screen to make it a little bit easier for them to get out onto the site. Shawn's right around the corner, paranoid at first. There's the flashpoint coming through as well. huynh is there with the backup. Shawn's got the big stop though, and it's now down to hazed. It's a 1-on-4 coming through from heaven. The first shot is right on the money. But there's huynh going big with the 3K. It started with the kill onto Wardell in mid, then picks up the op and cashes in over on the A site. On the flank, they've got hazed here as well, but Wardell, huynh, excuse me, watching that line. Missed shot from huynh though, and a rare miss at that. That puts the attackers in a really weird position. They have to run to this B site, where now they're going to be wandering into Wardell, who's got the knives
10 seconds left.
He's waiting for them. He's ready. Does he hit the clicks? There's the first one going his way. The smoke comes down, but Wardell with the jumping knife from the Blade Storm produces success for TSM yet again. They faltered once, but they find themselves back on top as kings on the scoreboard. Ult to deal with the rolling thunder. The showstopper as well sends a rocket into spawn. A breach charge coming out as they start to work their way in. Cutler's got one going right around the corner. There's player one from up on top. Player one's gonna find them all. It's 4 kills on the round. Play towards the spike. You can see their jet now escaping into B main. They'll try to make it back out. Spike is open, planted for them. hazed with a nice shot onto MkaeL. And that work down from the Viper makes it difficult. They're going to keep working their way in, but it's come down to a 2-on-2. The spike being stuck. They've actually managed to make it work. The thrifty round comes through. All will perish, but it doesn't matter. It's a 6th round on the scoreboard for TSM.
HP right now for huynh. So it's going to be very hard for Gen.G to try to rotate back from ropes over to this B side.
Enemy kill.
Wardell picking off huynh, spamming through the wall, actually gets a flick back from the spray transfer. It's Subroza who comes in and offers up some support, but it's a 3K on the round for Wardell. Probably feeling like he didn't need it, even though He's certainly received a heaping amount of damage on the round.
Later still on the ult. So well done for him. A great hold on his side to allow his last team to easily get the kills. And look at that, he doesn't even care anymore. Top Ryan going with the surprise attack, getting 2 kills of his own.
Exactly
and getting up and the last 2 guys are moving inside the side.
Player standing.
Stealing sight.
Quick shot comes in from Wardell just before the Rolling Thunder hits. Quinn just blind for days there, 69 HP. KekW in the chat. Wardell will hit the final shot of the round as it's 10-2 for
Switching
TSM.
sides.
Inside A, 4 pint already, and Wardell's gonna be the one pushing forward with the frenzy. A nice fault line that's gonna daze Win, and Wardell goes for the kill. Counter smokes or counter flashes as well, and Gen.G retaliates that. One spotted stuck inside that counter pot at L, but they're still doing a great job to clear it out. Wardell's in the corner where he has to peek out, and it gets picked off. It's a 2 versus 2. The spike is still planted for TSM as the wall comes up here for hazed. He retakes the position of Wardell when he fell, but his teammate falls at the same time. He's on a 2 versus 1. He's clutched it before, but he cannot do it this time. GMD kills him, and Gen.G gets the defuse, maybe?
They got it. It's going to be close, but they've certainly got it. 1.63 left on the clock. Around the corner, hiding behind that toxic wall. It's MkaeL strike first with Win, and jeez, MkaeL mops up. That's 4 kills as a flawless round victory comes through. There's the nade coming in. That's the tell. There's one around the corner. Shawn is so low on HP, it's an easy kill. Came on around from elbow, but not really able to do much there. Player 1 is now the last one standing. TSM look really good in the first full buy round. A flawless victory. 2 players taking damage enough that you can even see it. 1 more getting scratched up as well. But TSM looking rough currently as Cutler is really going to have to do a lot of this
30
fighting.
seconds
Drone
left.
with just 11 HP takes down another target. That's Shawn falling as well. That's huge in that not only does his rifle deal damage, but as the raise, he's also got potentially paint shells. It's come down though to a 1-on-1. Cutler's on 11 HP as MkaeL quickly picks up the frag onto drone, goes for the tap plant, tries to bait
10
out
seconds
the play.
left.
But Cutler has to dedicate to the plant in a moment. He's still playing with that clock, trying to bait out his opposition, and now he goes for the dedication. No, he's baited him out! It's a huge play! A 5-head 900 IQ play coming in from Cutler. It's both equally stupid and smart at the same time, and it works out for TSM.
Rather, and somehow he just gets that big play from Cutler to clutch that 1 versus 1.
That's brutal. There's a nice pickup as well coming in from Wardell, spamming through the sign.
Blocking sight.
But there's trades coming back in for Gen.G, working with suboptimal machine guns of the sub-machine gun variety. And it's worked out for them. Now Huynh's in position. There's the flashpoint through the cloud burst, making it hard to spot his target, but Wardell eventually breaks past that spiraling smoke and brings us to this point. MkaeL going big right now, but it's all up to Shawn. Shawn has been lights out all series long. He's got 1 target beneath, but no!
Attacker
the fall
win.
takes the stinger and sends its recoil flying. TSM will walk away from the first strike open qualifiers as the number 3 seed.